Hello everybody, welcome to MJX Movies. Today I'll be acting the film Gone Girl from 2014, directed by David Fincher. In this movie, we open up with Nick Dunn, husband of Amy Dunn, going to see his twin sister Margot at their bar, aptly titled The Bar. He's discussing with her their relation, and he eventually returns home, only to find what appears to have been a house wrecked by a struggle. Amy's missing, so Nick calls the local police, and a pair of detectives arrive to investigate. They take Nick to the police department to question him, where his father is also there because his father, who is suffering from neurodegenerative disease, has escaped his assisted living home. Turns out Nick's father is a bit of a pill, and not that nice, and that Nick's mother has passed away and is no longer with us. We then smash cut to the initial romance between Nick and Amy, a whirlwind romance that took place between them in New York City. We find out just how they met, and then we smash cut to several years later eventually and discover that after having lived in New York for many years, the financial crisis left them both jobless, so they elected to move back to Missouri, which is where Nick's from. While all of this is happening, we're also learning that Nick is not that familiar with his wife, and that their relationship had been souring over the years. It eventually comes out that Nick had been having an affair, and Amy, who had organized a scavenger hunt for every anniversary that the couple had organized for this anniversary a scavenger hunt based around the places in which Nick had been having an affair with his student, Andy. This leads the police to eventually believe that Nick was in fact responsible for the murder of Amy. However, as we find out, Amy is in fact still alive, and this was all a frame job by her in order to get Nick a capital punishment charge in Missouri, which has the death penalty. Amy is on the run, and she sets up shop in a crummy, well, not crummy, but not great, camping resort hotel of sorts, where she meets some unsavory characters who eventually rob her because they deduce that she has a money bag that she's kept hidden and that she's not who she says she is, so she won't have anyone to call for help. While this is happening, Nick has decided, or eventually decides, to engage in the help of star expert lawyer Tanner Bolt, who's an expert specifically at dealing with husbands whose spouses have been abducted or murdered. Nick eventually manages to turn around the media narrative by giving an interview to an HLN-esque adjacent show, which makes him seem sympathetic despite being a crummy guy. While this is happening, Amy has called in the help of an ex-boyfriend, an ex-lover of hers, whom she kept on a bit of a string for 20 years. He's very rich, so she goes to his lake house where he gives her a place to hide out. She devises a plot to pretend as though he had abducted her, and then she frames him for that and also murders him. After all of this, she returns home to Nick, bloodied, literally, not metaphorically. She's taken to the hospital. She describes the second frame job she committed against Desi, the rich ex-lover. And then eventually her and Nick return home. And when the two of them are naked, thus ensuring that there's no wires present, Amy admits to all the wrongdoings that she committed. Also, Amy eventually reveals to Nick that because of a previous attempt at fertility treatments, she had obtained some of Nick's semen, and she is now pregnant with their child. Nick reluctantly agrees to stay together for the sake of the child, and he tells the police detective, Tanner Bolt, and his sister, Margot, all about this at, I think, an airport lounge. Anyways, they all agree that the two are perfect for each other, and that there's nothing they can do about Amy's wrongdoings. And then the couple parent off into the sunset. So, this movie stars a lot of people. Primarily, it stars Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike. We also got Carrie Coon in there. We've got Tyler Perry, I think, who's the all-star out of the lower tier, or the assisting actors in all of this. But there's a lot of people in this. Everybody showed up for David Fincher on this one. This movie I liked a lot. I did not enjoy the initial meet cute portion of the movie, but I think that might have been kind of the point. I think it was meant to be distasteful to the viewer because it showed the sort of insincerity of their meeting. I don't know how much this whole relates to this, how closely this hews to the book. This is based on a novel of the same name written by Gillian Flynn. I think it is a really great examination of couples in the modern era, also media and how it acts around true crime or tragedy in the modern era. I think much like The Social Network, this has only gotten more accurate and better with time. This movie is also scored by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I love the score for this. I think it's fantastic. If you happen to watch the Pixar movie Soul, you will hear a lot of that in this movie. That movie is more the let's say the kidified version of this score. Because this is a David Fincher movie, this movie looks fantastic. It's shot wonderfully. It's shot beautifully. There's a story that I believe Matt Damon told about David Fincher on a Bill Simmons podcast about the library scene in this movie and about how he was shooting it and one of the extras walked in a way that was unnatural. And I couldn't help but notice the scene as soon as it came forward. So if you happen to have also listened to that, you'll know which scene that was being spoken about instantly. I think the acting's great in this. Rosamund Pike's accent, there were a couple times where for me it strained. Not to the point where her Britishness breaks out, but there's this thing that the Brits do when they speak with an an American accent, where it's a little too forced, a little too pronunciated. But overall, good work by Rosamund Pike. I think Ben Affleck was great for this. Apparently, John Hamm was supposed to originally be the actor in this movie, but he wasn't allowed out of Mad Men. I think this would have been still a really good movie with John Hamm, but a little bit different. I think Ben Affleck, for personal reasons outside of this movie, was a really good fit for it. I think Tyler Perry, like I said before, is easily the standout character actor of this, although Scoot McNairy comes in for one scene and bats it out of the park. So, I would say for me, between yay and in between, this is a big old yay. Much like basically every single David Fincher movie, this is a yay for me. Maybe, though, you are a divorce lawyer, in which case the ending of this movie will not leave you happy because you'll be out of work based on the end of this movie. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe. Cheers.